everyone, Maya here from MaiStoryBook, and happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Every day this month, you can check out MaiStoryBook's AAPI playlist to read aloud a different story featuring AAPI representation every day in May. For today's interactive read aloud, the title is Grateful Being Me, and it's about being proud of who you are and proud of your culture and heritage and your identity, my friends. So we're going to read about this little girl who is new to America. She's going to start a new school, and she's going to be a little bit unsure about being so different from her friends. But we're going to see how it's really special and great to be unique. So double thumbs up if you're ready to get started. Excellent. Let's begin. So the title of this book is Grateful Being Me. It's written by Deena and illustrated by Fabiana Attanasio. So the author is the one who writes all the words, and the illustrator draws all of the pictures we're about to see. And what do you notice going on the cover, my friends? Yes, I see this little girl. This must be the new one who is coming to America. And I see some other friends back here. It looks like, what's the setting of the story? Where is she? Looks like she's at school, and maybe what season it is. It might be fall, maybe the beginning of the school year. I see some orange leaves. That's usually because the season is fall. And it looks like the weather's probably cold because she's all bundled up. Although over back here, they're wearing shorts. All right, well, let's find out. Bonjour. That's French for hello. My name is Rasila, and English is not my first language. I grew up speaking French and Cambodian and Vietnamese. 3 different languages. Wow. I'm glad you can join me as I begin my adventure speaking English at an American school. So she speaks 3 different languages, French, Cambodian, and Vietnamese, and she's starting to learn English at her new school. It is a huge building. This school is bigger than all of my previous schools in Canada combined. Oh, so she used to live in Canada. I take my seat, and then a flush creeps across my cheeks. A flush means her cheeks start to turn a little pink. How do you think she's feeling if your flush is going across your cheeks? Embarrassed, worried, nervous? Why didn't I listen to my dad and go before I left home? Sounds like she has to go to the bathroom. Excuse me, Miss Molina, can I please use la toilette? Giggles fill the room. Did I say something funny? You would think I had boogers and slime smeared across my face. Why do you think the other kids are giggling when she said that? Because it's maybe not how you ask in English. The what? I think you mean the bathroom. Rosila? Miss Molina suggests, but I don't need to take a bath. Right? Because bathroom kind of sounds like the room to bathe. Why would you call it a bathroom? It's interesting learning new words in different languages. Take a right down the hall and it will be on your left. Hurry back. I follow the directions Miss Molina gave, but to my surprise, they lead to a restroom. Is that the same as a bathroom? Different words, huh? I guess I look lost because the kid says, I'm Sachi. He points to a door. Are you looking for the toilets? But the door says restroom, I reply. Bathroom, restroom, it's all the same. Turns out there are 5 toilets in there. So people in America have toilets in rooms, but don't call them toilets? Good to know. Aww. Right, so they call them different rooms. Bathroom, restroom, different ways to say where the toilets go, but not toilet. You don't call it toilet. It's finally lunchtime. Miss Molina had told my parents that I can buy lunch or bring it from home. Chetra and several kids with trays stand in line to buy their lunch. Beside me, Jonathan and Nicholas open cartoon lunch boxes. They eat meat and cheese sandwiches, potato chips, candy gummies, and milk. My classmates trade snacks with each other. I open my insulated lunch pail and take out my favorite sandwich. Baguette bread smothered with butter, a generous portion of jalua, a Vietnamese Cambodian ham and pork patty, cilantro, cucumbers, pickled carrots, and daikon, a splash of soy sauce, and a dash of pepper. A masterpiece. So many different things in her sandwich besides just meat and cheese, right? So if I'm looking at their lunch boxes, I notice that their lunch boxes look the same. And look at their sandwiches. And then look at her sandwiches. It looks a little different, huh? What do you pack in your lunch, my friends? And do your friends pack things that are similar or different? Yeah. I also have shrimp chips, soy milk, and a cut-up mango. Woohoo! Thanks, Mom. So she really likes her lunch, so she's got some extra snackies. What's your favorite snack in your lunchbox? So some different things that it looks like are different than the other kids. She has shrimp chips instead of these potato chips. I am mid-bite into my sandwich when the laughter and comments begin. Look! Rosila's lunchbox is larger than life. It takes up the whole table. Look how much food she has. Ew, what is that smell? She eats more than my Uncle Bernie, and he won a hot dog eating contest. I lost my appetite. I want to crawl under the cafeteria table and hide forever. So first of all, they're like, she has so much food. And then they're like, it's stinky. My friends, what is something they could have said instead that's kinder? Because that is pretty rude. And how does that make Rosella feel? I know, she doesn't feel too happy. Pretty sad, maybe a little embarrassed. At the end of the day, we pack our belongings to go home. I slip on my long down puffer coat and swing my messenger bag across my body. Hilarious! You have strange bulky gear on, Rosella. So she has a big coat, and if I notice, what are the other kids wearing? How's her outfit different from the other kids? Yeah, they look like they're wearing shorts, a jacket, like it's kind of for warm weather while she's all bundled up. Where are you going dressed like that? What an odd-looking backpacking coat. You look like you're going to hike the North Pole, and I feel my cheeks grow red. So it sounds like they're making fun of what she's wearing. What could you say instead, my friends? That is kinder. Yeah, these friends are making fun of her because she's wearing something different. On Saturday, I go to the hair salon. I had overheard some girls in my class talk about how shorter hair is popular. Maybe if I chop off my hair, I will be known as the cool new kid in school. I showed Tevi, the hairdresser, a picture in the magazine. Like this, please. Oh, and if I look right here, she is, oh, see the haircut? That's very short. Take time to look at more styles, Tevi suggests. Imagine how they will look on your face. Her advice goes in one ear and out the other, which means, that's okay, I'm going to do what I want anyways. My mind is made up. How does the hairdresser feel about giving Rosella that haircut? She's not so sure how it's going to turn out. I feel great about my decision until I walk into class on Monday. I thought the new student was a girl. That looks like a boy. Is that haircut punishment or something? I pull my hoodie over my head and sink slowly in my seat. So she was trying to get a short haircut to be fit to fit in with her friends, but instead, sounds like they think her hair is too short. Oh, goodness. How is Rosella feeling now? After school, I begged my parents to go straight to the grocery store and shopping mall to pick up some things. I know this food and these clothes will make me feel so much better, I tell them. So she is trying to get some new clothes and some new foods to match her friends. What clothes and foods do you notice she's picking? If I look close, I see some ham, some cheese, some potato chips, some white bread, some outfits like the other kids. So it seems like she's trying really hard to fit and match what the other kids are doing and eating and wearing. And how do our parents feel about that? Kind of like, what's going on? We've never bought these things before. The next morning, I leave my cozy coat behind and go to school with my new outfit. And how does she feel about her new outfit? She doesn't look very comfortable, does she? The air is cool and the leaves are changing color. I'm having a hard time seeing how my outfit without any outerwear is a good idea. I can feel the goosebumps rise on my arms and shiver as I rush into school. At lunchtime, I grab my sandwich, and to my surprise, my new lunchbox didn't keep it cold like her other one, which is well insulated. I take a bite. It is soggy and bland. This sandwich, ugh. This is terrible. Worst lunch ever. Why do the other kids like it so much? So she's trying some of the food she saw the other kids eat. She does not like it. After recess, we all take turns using the restroom to wash up. Rosella, your turn for the toilet, Petra says. I'm so confused. How is it now okay to use the word toilet and not before? So now that they're in the bathroom, they're saying you can use the toilet. But it's a little confusing, right? Because how come we don't call the whole thing a toilet? Aww. I look in the mirror. My hair is standing up all over the place after playtime. I miss being able to tie it up in a ponytail away from my face. I didn't think through this hairstyle very well. I should have listened to Tevi. So now she's feeling a little bit regretful about her haircut, like she shouldn't have done it. My friends, is there ever something that you did and you were really excited about, and then afterwards you kind of felt not so great about it? Like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Can you tell me about that time? If you remember how you feel then, that's how Rosella is feeling right now. I sigh with disappointment. I had tried all these new ways to fit in and thought for sure changing my ways would make me happy, but was I unhappy before? But was she unhappy before when she was just herself? The other people weren't being very nice to her, but if you don't remember about them, then I think she was kind of comfortable with how she was. I keep trying. I eat soggy white bread and sandwiches for another week, and then I say, enough. Enough. What do you think she's feeling now? Enough. Enough what? I think she's done with trying to fit in and do all these different things she's not used to. The next day, I pack a bunch of my favorite snacks to share at lunch. I let Miss Melina know in case some students are allergic. My hands tremble and my palms are sweaty as I pass out snacks. So it looks like she is going to try to share something she likes with her classmates instead of trying to always get what they like. Try it, I offer, you might like it. They lean in eagerly and I hold my breath as my classmates take turns tasting shrimp chips and seaweed sheets and dried squid. Ooh, my friends, have you ever tried any of those? What are some snacks that you would bring to share with your classmates that are maybe different or new that they might not have tried before? Or maybe just your favorite ones? That sounds delicious. Some lick their lips, a few give a thumbs up, others smile, and several sway in their seats savoring the food. So, do they like it or no? Sounds and looks like they like it. Yum, what a treat! So delicious, I've never tasted anything like it. I'm surprised it's so good. I let out a deep breath. And how does Rosalind feel now? She looks much happier, doesn't she? It's been 1 month and Dennis, Renee, Gino, and I now regularly trade snacks. I discovered some new favorite foods they introduced me to, and I also find some new foods I don't like, but at least I try. So I'm looking over here, they're trying some different things. Sopo, Proc, and Theta wear jackets or coats to school now and have not stopped thanking me. We all agree that it's cool to be warm. And so she gets to wear what she likes. She gets to eat new foods and try new things. And Kayleen, Sarah, Ashley, and I bond over fashionable ways to keep hair off our face. And then she gets to figure out ways to keep her hair out of her face and she can't use a ponytail. So sounds like she's finding a different way to connect with every single person in her class while still being happy about who she is and proud of herself. Nolly and Boris said they feel super sophisticated calling the restroom la toilette with a French accent. She even gets to call the bathroom toilet. And it turns out that Gigi, Lucy, Ratana, and Teresa's parents don't let them go to sleepovers either. I talked it over with my parents because it doesn't hurt to ask. Worst case, they say no. And guess what? They agreed that next time I could go to the party, but not sleep over. So some parents don't let you have a sleepover, and it just depends on who your parents are. And it seems like there's some other kids who also can't sleep over. You can still go to the party, but you just can't do that part. Sounds like a good compromise. So, what did I learn at this huge new school? There is no one way of doing something, and we can all learn from each other. You can be you, and I'll stay grateful being me. So, Rosalind tried really hard to fit in and match and do what all of her classmates were doing, but in the end, she realized it was much more fun, and she was much more happier when she got to be herself and then share and learn from her classmates. How are some ways that she was similar to her friends? Yeah. They like doing hairstyles, they like being fashionable, they like eating snacks, and however some ways she was different. She ate different things, maybe wore different things, had different rules about what she could do and not. But in the end, look how happy they are. They realized that it was great to just be themselves and then celebrate what makes them special, unique, different, and similar. In the end, my friends, there's some feelings and some different conversation starters to help you talk about your day with your family and friends. Wow, what a great story. All right, my friends, what is one of your favorite parts of this book? Yeah, I thought it was cool getting to see Rosalind figure out all the different ways that she can share herself with her friends instead of trying to fit and blend in. She was really proud to stand out and then just share about herself with her friends instead of trying to change herself. She's just really proud to share what makes her special with all of her new classmates. That's a great thing, my friends. So if you are ever feeling worried or concerned about being different, try sharing what's different about yourself with your friends and being really proud of it. And you'll find the friends who accept you and love you for who you are. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed today's interactive read aloud. Be sure to check in every day in May for an interactive read aloud with AAPI representation. Don't forget to check out that playlist. And until next time, happy reading.